around, don't disregard it. Sweep you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started, it's the hardest. Talk around, don't disregard it. Sweep you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. Yeah,
get your boots ready. We're about to go on a trip where we wrestle, nobody settling or calling it quits. You're here for the grit, betcha this stuff is amazing. You're stumbling, welcome to the bump in the apron. Step into it, the hardest part of the ring. Here to bring fun, yeah, and this art he is king. It's the best thing, making sure you don't tap out. Don't go soft with the hardest podcast out. And it's not just another one, it's clear. Off the rest, in this content, none contest. Take the nonsense off the steps. You know it's nothing but pure gems when it's coming off the chest. Get it? Now it's time to sit and relax. Get your mind blown away, ain't no skipping this track. Have you paying more attention, no listening gap. Get everything I ever wanted, no giving it back. Yeah.
Ooh, what's up, everybody? Man, you thought HLA meant hot lesbian action? Well, turns out it means hot lesbian apron bump. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, the hardest part of the ring. And man, oh man, what a fucking bizarre time. 2002, September of 2002, WWE Unforgiven. What a weird time. Cause look, man, we're relatively fresh off the Attitude Era. The in-ring product has definitely taken a higher focus. I mean, we're right in the middle of the Smackdown 6 era, and we see that a lot in this show with both Eddie Guerrero versus Edge and Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle, which are both amazing matches. Raw's really good too. I mean, shit, you got RVD fighting for the world title. And I mean, like the TV shows, they'll have these random ass matches. Like it'll be like Bubba Ray Dudley versus Stevie Richards, but it'll like get some time and it'll be like pretty good. Like it's just flow. Like the shows flow with these really consistently good matches. Jericho's, your Jeff Hardy's, all those guys, right? And hell, I mean, this show is main evented by Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker, which is arguably the biggest feud in either of their career. I mean, definitely Brock, I think, right? As far as like guys Brock Lesnar has feuded with over the years, I mean, who is more significant than The Undertaker? Maybe Kurt Angle. I can't really think of anybody else, honestly. I mean, it has to be up there, right? And just kind of further solidifying at this point in this pay-per-view, further solidifying Brock Lesnar at the top. So yeah, I have a lot of good stuff happening on this show. But then, we got some HLA. Some hot lesbian action, of course. You have the Billy and Chuck wedding, which is not occurring on this show. It occurred on SmackDown a few weeks before this. But a lot of the aftershock is still felt, and we still get the storyline is still going on. I'll just put it that way. We talked about it in the episode, but yeah, some weird shit, man. Like the Un-Americans too is like... I don't even know if I mentioned this in the episode, but we're fresh off of the heels off of them trying to light the American flag on fire on Raw. But who stopped this? None other than the big red demon, the devil's favorite demon, Glenn Kane Jacobs, returning to Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago to stop the Un-Americans from desecrating the American flag in the middle of the ring. And then we have an 8-man tag on this show as the fallout of that. But Kane returning in 2002. You know what that means? We are in striking distance of Katie Vick. Yeah, that storyline is coming up soon. Not on this show, but the next show, I believe. No Mercy. Necrophilia, everybody. Necrophilia. But speaking of... not speaking of necrophilia. Speaking of Katie, joined on this show... She's going to love that segue. By Katie from the ShELite Showcase. Joins me on this episode. We have a good old time talking about some Unforgiven 02. go check out Katie wherever you listen to podcasts, on YouTube, on Twitch. All that info in the description below. Katie Wrestling13 on Twitter for everything Cater Tot. She does she has a lot of irons in the fire, as they say. She's got the ShELite Showcase, which is a wrestling recap show that occurs every Thursday on Twitch. Of course, you can listen to it on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts with her co-host Savannah, recapping the week of wrestling, but they put their own unique twist on it, give the female perspective on wrestling. Talk about like New Japan stuff too, which Savannah has her own specific show if that's what you're into. G1 Climax season, so no better time. I guess we're past it, but you know, if you're just catching up like me, go check that out. Yeah, Katie has the ShELite Showcase. She has In the Crowd, which is another show she does. Inside the Mind, which I was a guest on a few months ago, is an interview show where she interviews various people in the podcast community, the wrestling podcast community. I had a good time on that show, so go check that out. Check out the ShELite Showcase. Check out all of her shows, why don't you? And all her info in the description below. And hey, if you like this kind of stuff, look, I talked about this bizarre time in wrestling. Talked about Katie Vick coming up. Shit, what do we have in the past? We had Hulk Hogan as champion. We had the SummerSlam 02 recently just happened. One of the best pay-per-views of all time. We've had the NWO has been all over this year. Tons of weird shit, but a lot of good stuff too. And all of it interesting in 2002. So if you're into that kind of stuff, this era of WWE, go to apronbump.com. And you can go to the episodes tab at the top and you can select Ruthless Aggression Era or Attitude Era or TNA or Ring of Honor or Progress or Monday Night Wars, all that stuff. I cover it all. Go to apronbump.com and you can filter which episodes you would like to listen to and join the chronological journey, why don't you, through all of these timelines. So go do that. Follow me on Twitter, the TikTok, the Instagrams, MySpace, all of it. And yeah, let's get to it, shall we? WWE Unforgiven 2002 with myself and Katie from the ShELite Showcase and 12 other shows.
No, never.
All right, I don't like the sarcastic attitude. That was the spot where you're like, no, you're such a hard worker.
Oh no, you're
Kyle.
so hard.
All right, well, this has been a short episode. You have a good day. I might not forgive you for that. All right, Dwayne, if you're gonna fucking claw at me the whole time, I'm gonna kick you out. You see this motherfucker?
Oh, I love him.
Look
Precious.
at the belly jiggle.
Precious bean.
He hates it. All right, you want to be in or out? He's gonna meow if I let him out, so I'm just gonna see how this goes.
I mean,
We'll go from there.
that sounds about right.
It's the constant struggle. God, there is so much. I picked him up once, and now there's cat hair all over my shirt. I just lint rolled.
I just lint rolled.
I did. I had to go find. That's why I was late. I had to find my lint roller, and then I.
You know, it's okay. It's okay. Can you hear my fan, by the way?
I can. I mean, I can cut it out later.
Okay. It is so hot in this room. If I have my AC on, it's too loud, and my fucking fan is too loud now. So I'm screwed.
Whew. Let me tell you what. When I moved, and because my old apartment, I had window AC, and now I have central air, which is really getting with the 21st century over here.
Proud of you.
Thanks. Well, speaking of fans, were you a fan of this show, Unforgiven 2002?
Hate you. Yeah. I was.
Yeah. Did you? Were you watching during this time period?
Oh yes, 100%.
Because you're like what, like 17, right?
No, I turned 26 last month.
Okay, so you were.
I was in like first grade.
Why can't I math right now? Okay, first grade. All right.
I was in like, yeah, depending on like what month this show was in, I was in first grade.
Right, September. So you were just starting first grade.
I was just starting first grade.
It's a big time. It's a big time in everybody's life.
I liked first grade.
I didn't like first grade. My teacher was kind of a bitch. Miss Johnson.
See, my teacher was pregnant, so she left like halfway through the year. So then we got a sub, and the sub was way cooler.
Damn, what a whore. So Unforgiven 2002 was the show that happened. And wrestling. Where do we even begin here? All right, so Unforgiven. So
Unforgiven.
WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment.
Actually, WWF.
It's WWE here.
I thought it was F.
No, they got the F out. Catherine, I don't know if you heard.
Ew. Excuse me. Your name is Cater Tot, as seen on screen.
Good. You and Matt always have dumbass names I don't notice until halfway through.
Not always. I saw Matt was Taz's package. I was like, perfect opportunity. I'm gonna be Cater Tot because you're the only person who calls me that.
All right, we're gonna be Cater Tot in the video. That's
fine.
That's the bed you've
I
made.
did this on purpose.
That's good. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
But yes, it's WWE. They turned it into WWE in like, I don't know, May or something. So it was a few months before this.
Okay.
So we're in the beginning. You were close though. You were close.
Thanks.
The beginning of the brand extension here, and this is actually the first pay-per-view. Fun fact, where there are 2 world titles. Well, unless you count like the WCW shit from the Invasion, but we don't talk about that.
No.
But yeah, the world title was just recently introduced in the build-up to this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of an evergreen topic because like even like today, Roman Reigns has both titles, and it's a big debate online. Like if there should be 2 titles, 1 title. Where do you stand on that?
At this point, I want all titles separated. Like now,
Right.
because it's like just having Roman face one guy when there are not like a lot of people up to his standards, but like quite a few who could eventually get there. Can we just take the belts off of them and separate them again?
Yeah. No, I agree. Especially like I'm a big fan of like 2 brands, like a fine line, or not fine line, a thick line in between them. Is that a phrase? Probably not. But 2 like separate shows, 2 separate sets of belts. I feel like when you have a big enough roster, which they do today, you can afford to have 2 unique shows with unique storylines and unique titles. Like I don't think there's any excuse to have just 1 title.
No.
I mean, they did try it. When they first split the brands up, there was 1 world champion that would go from like back and forth, and that was kind of dumb because like once you lose the title, what brand are you on? It was kind of sloppy and messy. So maybe they can make that work. Maybe they can learn from their mistakes. But as far as I'm concerned, this right here, the precedent that they're setting with this show, 2 world title matches, I thought was a good way to go about it.
2 worlds, 1 family.
Man, hang that above my bed and light some candles. But the show starts with an 8-man tag. So we got the Americans versus the Dirty Foreigners, the Un-Americans. So we got Booker T, Bubba Ray Dudley, Goldust, and Kane versus Christian, Lance Storm, Test, and a new Un-American, William Regal. So, before we get into, I got a quick geography question for you because you're like the geography expert of the IWC. That's what you're known as. Kane. Do you happen to know where he's from?
Like, are you talking Glenn Jacobs, the person?
That's a completely different person. I'm talking about Kane.
Okay, Kane. No, I'm trying to like think back to like any like ring announcements from like when he was wrestling. I keep thinking like parts unknown, but that's not him.
So that's what I was thinking. Another thing. So I don't know if you played WWE 2K22.
I haven't yet, actually.
But in that game, they announced Kane from the pits of hell.
You know, I mean, it's been...
It could be. I've never heard him announce that in
I feel like
TV.
I've heard them say something like, or maybe it was Hell's Favorite Demon or something. I don't know. I feel like I remember Hell being somewhere in his introduction.
Yeah. The dark side of hell. Hell, Michigan? Huh? Who? Come on. Call in with your favorite hell city. But the reason I bring that up is because I think Parts Unknown and Pits of Hell are both outside of the American border, no?
Well, I think so.
Unless it's like, vertically down, but still within the borders. Right? Who's with me? But the match happens. So it's an opening match here. It's just 8 guys in there. It's a pretty quick match. So it's pretty much like it feels like a sprint during like most of this match. Kane gets in there because Kane's the newly returned guy. He's the guy that's red hot. Pun not intended. But he's on fire. But we got Test. He does this like really crazy power slam on Kane. You got Booker T in there with the scissors kick on the Test. Does the spin-a-rooney, which is probably the biggest pop of the night.
Yep.
You got Christian and Storm, low blows and super kicks. You got Bubba Bombs. You got Shattered Dreams. All kinds of shit. Towards the end, William Regal goes for his brass knucks, which he's become known for. He like puts them on his hand, but before he can fire it off, Kane punches him in the face and then choke slams Lance Storm and gets the win for the Americans. So fun match, huh? What do you think, Dwayne? First of all, got any thoughts?
Dwayne, any thoughts?
Does your asshole have any thoughts? All right, nope. Well, yeah, fun match, right? There's so much here.
Yeah, I mean, good way to start the pay-per-view off, I guess. The teamwork between like the American side was very good. I liked how Booker T just basically took the role of Devon. Like,
yeah,
he really did. Like, get the tables. Bubba made him do the spin-a-rooney, which getting the tables during a match. Guys, come on. You're not AEW. Come on now.
It wasn't on fire with tax on it.
Not yet.
Yeah, maybe it was going to be, but they didn't get a chance.
It probably was. The ref stopped it. He said, no.
I mean, Kane's there. He probably set on fire.
Probably. He was ready to set anything and everything on fire.
Yeah.
Our little arsonist.
the little arsonist Kane. It's crazy that nickname never took off.
That was gonna be his name, but they said no. I think Kane fits better. We'll call him Kane.
He could have had like a mini Kane called the Little Arsonist.
See, why weren't we in charge?
See, these are the ideas that need to get spitballed back and forth. This is when diamonds are created.
The Little Arsonist.
I
want someone to draw that.
Somebody out there.
Kane and like draw Kane from like late 90s, early 2000s, and then a Little Arsonist Kane as like his son.
Somebody send us a proof of concept and we'll
storyline.
AEW will take it, and it'll be like it'll be a part of Jurassic Express probably, because that seems like
everyone's a part of Jurassic Express.
Yeah. Well, good stuff there. Speaking of which, we got Billy and Chuck backstage talking to Stephanie McMahon. You got a problem, Katie? What's the problem?
No. Oh, no problems.
Got Billy and Chuck backstage talking with Stephanie. Building up to a later match. It's going to be Billy and Chuck in 3 Minute Warning, which I don't think that's their name at this point, but it's Jamal and Rosie. It's a interpromotional match, and I'll just say that there's high stakes for it. High stakes.
The highest of stakes.
Yeah. Is that what the H stands for in HLA?
Yeah, high lesbian action. Yep.
It's better than low lesbian action, as they all say. Touche indeed. Well, speaking of douches, we got Chris Jericho and Ric Flair. I got a couple of them right here.
Yeah.
So we got the Intercontinental titles on the line. You got Chris Jericho, who is the new champion, who just won it from Rob Van Dam, I think the week before this, versus Ric Flair, who, wouldn't you know it, 2002, he's thinking of hanging it up. He's
if only.
He's in the twilight of his career, so
it's crazy what 20 years can do to a man.
Honestly,
he looks kind of decent back in 2002. 2022, man looks like he's been hit by several trucks.
You see, I think Ric Flair's looked 60 years old since he was 20 years old. So
see, I'm not saying he hasn't looked 60. He looked like a good 60, like one of those like 60-year-olds who like hang with like the 30-year-olds in the bar,
like Judge Judy.
Judge Judy never ages. I love her.
Yeah, she can get it.
Still looks beautiful, I agree. But Ric Flair has always looked 60. I agree. Back then, 20 years ago, good 60. Like, tough 60.
Yeah.
Now, he looks like decrepit 60. Like, he belongs in a casket 60. It almost happened.
Yeah, he tried his damnedest. Let me tell you.
He tried his damnedest, but it did not fucking work.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think Jericho today is as old as Ric Flair is here. I believe. So probably close. I could be way off.
I think Jericho's turning like 52 or something this year. I'm gonna see how old Ric Flair was in 2002.
It's crazy how old people looked back then, because Ric Flair looks 87 years old here, but in reality he was about as old as Finn Balor is. It's like, what the hell? What happened? What were people doing back then? Lots of drugs, I guess.
Lots of drugs.
Lots of helicoptering.
Okay, so he's 50. Yeah, he's like 53 now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jericho is?
No, Wait, hold on. That didn't seem right. I'm Googling that again.
Oh, man.
That did not work.
New segment on the Apron Bump. Katie does math.
No.
We're gonna have a whole.
That's the problem.
We're gonna have a whole theme song.
Okay.
It's gonna be a whole thing.
Okay, because Rick's 73, so he would have been 53. Oh, well, so yeah.
Yeah, it was 20 years, almost 20 years. Wow. Well, funny how cookie crumbles sometimes.
Okay. See, the way that it showed up on Google confused the shit out of me, so I was like, oh no, did I get this wrong?
How did it show up on Google?
Not the way I was expecting it to.
Oh man, I hate when that happens. Just when you thought it was gonna zag. So the story here is that Ric Flair is he's spiraling, basically. He came back to the WWE. He's kind of been directionless. He's kind of been a shell of his former self. And Triple H has really been egging him on. He's really been beating him down with it, like, oh, you're not the Ric Flair that I used to know. So Rick's doubting himself, and Jericho's pretty much taking advantage of that. Because they had a match at SummerSlam, so this is a rematch. But Jericho basically asked for a rematch as like a reward from Eric Bischoff. He like went and won the Intercontinental title and did a whole bunch of shit. So he's like, oh, you know what? You can have this match. The match is, again, I feel like it was a very short match. There wasn't a lot going on. Rick did hit a knee drop from the second rope, which I thought was pretty nutty.
Surprised his knee didn't pop up.
He took a few bumps. I was like, God damn, he wrestled another, like, a veteran's career after this, which is insane.
The best part of this match, can I say the best part of this match?
Please.
There was a sign in the crowd.
Uh-oh.
One specific sign. It just said, Fozzy sucks. It was the best part of this match. I shit you not. This match was, like, I feel like this now, where, like, matches don't need to be on pay-per-views, like, oh, you could just, like, put that on, like, Raw or, like, Dynamite or something. This did not need a pay-per-view spot. Yeah,
it was very, I mean, I guess that there's star power of these two.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
But
like,
with how the show unfolds, I don't think they really wanted to go too balls deep into this, because by the end of the show, this match isn't really gonna matter to Ric Flair, at least.
Very true.
But and it's kind of, you know, it's a not a spoiler. It's foreshadowing. Foreshadowing.
Okay.
Hello.
Big word for Elmo.
Yeah. But Ric Flair, he essentially, because Jericho goes for the lion salt, Ric Flair gets out of the way. Jericho lands on his feet and apparently has injured himself, has blown out his knee. Man, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope he's okay when I was watching this. I was like, he surely is injured.
Oh, hope he's okay.
Yeah. But so Jericho's in the fetal position in the corner. The ref's checking on him. Jericho's like, I'm a wizard. Get some people out here. Or whatever he said.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, actually. Verbatim.
Flair stops attacking him because, as I mentioned, Jericho's clearly injured. But as Flair turns his back on Chris Jericho, wouldn't you know it, actually isn't injured. He might have been playing a bit of possum there.
Ugh.
If I read that correctly.
Playing possum.
Who would have seen that coming? This is just, he's never done this before, I don't think.
Never. Never once.
But Jericho locks in the walls of Jericho onto Flair, and Flair taps out pretty much immediately. Retains his title, and even commentary is like, "Oh, that was the oldest trick in the book." I think Ric Flair, he's lost it. You know, the dirtiest player in the game, and back in the day, he would have never let that happen. He's the master of this kind of stuff. So furthering this, if anything, this match pretty much is there to further that story, I guess. But yeah. Any other thoughts on it?
No, it was just there. Like, yeah. Cool. IC title. Glad it was being on a pay-per-view back then.
Yeah, I think this is the last time it was on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, 2002 was the last time the IC title was defended on a pay-per-view. Can you guys believe that?
It seems like it.
It really does.
I'll tell you what, if they don't have fucking Gunther defend it in Europe...
At Clash? You can't do that! Like, he needs to!
Come on, man. I mean, with the whole NXT UK stuff, I mean, as we're recording this, people are getting released left and right from NXT.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been following that or not, but...
So, like, I was at work all day, but, like, I kind of been, like, checking my phone periodically, and, like, I saw that NXT UK talent's, like, getting released to possibly either come to America. Like, some of them are getting released to be brought back later, and some are just getting, like, brought to America, which is probably why there were so many goddamn NXT UK people on NXT on Tuesday, which makes so much more sense in hindsight.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were just doing a one-off Worlds Collide pay-per-view like they did before, and then it was going to go back to NXT UK, or if they're merging. Apparently, they're pretty much merging the two brands. Yeah,
Worlds Collide's like the last like NXT UK show, and then they're finito.
Because I saw Flash Morgan Webster, Mark Andrews, Nina Samuels. I don't know how much you watch NXT UK, so I don't know if you know
I know the names a little bit. I don't watch it because I don't have time. Yeah. But like I know the majority of the names that have gotten released so far, which that sucks.
I mean, I saw one theory that they might just be releasing them for the time being, and then once NXT Europe starts, which I don't really understand what that is, but or how it's different than NXT UK, but maybe they'll bring them back in the future. But
we'll see.
Hopefully, the European title makes a comeback.
That's what everyone's saying, which that's the perfect way to bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, if not, then when? You know?
If not then when?
Exactly. I mean, here in 2002, we just lost the European Championship, which is I'm still reeling
really?
from that. Yeah, I think Jeff Hardy was the last champion, maybe.
Oh my
I could be wrong on that. I mean, I literally just watched this kind of recently, but they yeah, it was Jeff Hardy, and him and RVD had a unification match. This is when RVD was Intercontinental Champion.
Okay.
They also got rid of the hardcore title and introduced more lesbians to the show. So that's where Raw's going. So
hardcore lesbian action. That's what the H stands for.
Yeah. Hardcore. There's divisions of lesbian action.
All the divisions of lesbian action.
The Intercontinental lesbian action. So we got Eric Bischoff backstage with Jamal and Rosie. You familiar with these fellas?
I am. Yes.
So Rosie's Roman Reigns' brother, right?
Yeah, I was looking this up because I was I can't remember which one is Roman's brother, and it was Rosie. Yeah. I
think Jamal is his cousin, if I'm looking at the tree right.
Yeah.
But basically, just building up to the coveted hot lesbian action versus ass kissing match later in the show. Rico's gonna be in 3-Minute Warning's corner, and love the sideburns on Rico. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, if someone can pull off sideburns, it's definitely Rico.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody can pull those off now. Unless it's Rico.
Who has sideburns? The Hardys. Jeff Hardy has sideburns. Who else has sideburns?
I mean, Matt Jackson had mutton chops for a hot second, but those were not good.
Those were pubes on his face. So we got Eddie Guerrero versus Edge here.
Perfect transition.
The king of transitions here. So actually, I recently listened to your latest Inside the Mind. I think it's your latest one with Tim King.
That is the latest one, yes.
You guys were talking about how people used to be embarrassed to be wrestling fans, and nowadays I've kind of gotten away from that until I see things like this. So during Eddie Guerrero's entrance, there was a sign in the crowd that said, "Eddie mowed my lawn."
Oh Oh, wait, this is where that... Okay.
Yeah, I realized when I posted that last night, it was during Dynamite, and people might have thought it was Eddie Kingston, but
yeah, you had impeccable timing with that, by the way.
yeah, that was not my intent. That was not from yesterday.
Eddie Guerrero was like kind of mentioned. Like,
oh, was he?
Very, very briefly. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's like the third
Yeah.
best Eddie I faced, or whatever. Shit, yeah.
Whatever the hell he said. Who knows?
But no, they're talking about Eddie here in 2002, and you might be saying, well, mowed my lawn, that's kind of tame. But mowed is spelled M-O-E-D. So not only is it racist, but it's stupid. So
Wow, imagine being racist and dumb. Oh wait, that's every person who's racist.
hey. Hopefully no racists listen to my show, otherwise I just lost listenership.
Honestly, you don't need those listeners anyways.
Look, man, numbers are numbers, let me tell you.
Yeah, I get it.
So really the storyline here is that Edge apparently gets more bitches than Eddie Guerrero. I think I'm reading that. I don't know if they showed a video package or not, or the commentary. Is that the story that you were?
Honestly, let's go with that. It seems right.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie's jealous that he's losing all his mamacitas, so.
Not the mamacitas.
Not the mamacitas, so they have to wrestle for it. Wrestling for the mamacitas on a pole. And this is so it's another rematch from SummerSlam. And another really good match. Did anything kind of tickle your fancy specifically about this one?
I just like watching this pay-per-view made me realize like I feel like I haven't watched an Eddie Guerrero match in so long.
Yeah.
Cause like usually like I don't go back and like watch old school stuff. Like cause I know like TC and Reek are like going through like 2003 and 2002 is like kind of thing. Uh-huh. But yeah, I don't really like go back and watch full matches. Like I'll catch like a clip on Twitter or something, mainly of like Eddie's like playing possum and like lying to the ceiling kind of thing, but not him wrestling. So seeing him wrestle, especially with the hair,
ooh,
man,
mullet's on fire.
The mullet, like Eddie Guerrero rocked the mullet. Not many people can.
No. Let's make it a comeback though.
Yeah, but like, does it need to?
I mean, it's the best of both worlds. I tried once and it didn't. Well, no. See, the thing is, I tried to have just like long hair, but then it turned into a mullet. Like this is how my hair grows. So it wasn't my choice. But yeah, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. So Eddie Guerrero has his mullet. Edge has his hair as well. And
Edge looks like a baby.
Edge, yeah, he's
looks like your cat.
Dwayne's a big, yeah, he's a big Edge fan. He's
he heard Edge and hopped up real quick. He said, Adam Copeland?
Loves it.
We talking?
But yeah, no, yeah, Edge is super, he's kind of decently early in his singles run, his babyface run, I guess. I guess he's been like a year or so, but he's starting to catch up steam. This is like the Smackdown 6 era of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Which both these guys are a part of. So yeah, if you want to watch more Eddie matches, any match from this time period, you're pretty much guaranteed to get something good, whether it's with like Kurt or Benoit or any of those guys. So really good stuff here. The finish. Well, so Eddie dominates from the jump because the whole build-up is that Eddie hit Edge with a chair on SmackDown, so Edge is dealing with concussion. I don't know if it's a concussion or not. They took concussion so lightly back then. He's like, oh yeah, he's dealing with a concussion, but he's
really.
I don't know if you heard, but some people got hit in the chair really hard. Yeah, so Eddie targets the head for a lot of the match, but then Edge starts to fight back. When Eddie does this little deal where he like grabs Edge's wrist and runs up to the top, going for like a run off the top rope, but Edge counters into a power bomb, which looks sick. Edge goes for the spear, but misses. Eddie tries to hit a suplex, reversed into an execution, makes the cover, but Eddie gets to the ropes. Eddie, at some point, because he's that lying, cheating, stealing fella, exposes the turnbuckle, takes off the pad, and but Edge spears him into it. And Edge puts him on the top rope to go for a superplex, but then Eddie smashes Edge's head on the turnbuckle and then hits maybe the most sick-looking sunset flip powerbomb I've ever seen in my life. And pins him, folds him up, even grabs the tights, and gets
Just
the
for
win.
extra measure.
As if he needed it. That was...
When in doubt, grab the tights.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see sunset flip powerbombs like that anymore. Eddie, his powerbombs are some of the best.
Which is crazy because you hear Eddie, you immediately think Frog Splash.
Right.
And, like, Three Amigos. Like, you don't really think of, like, the other moveset like he had. It's like, he was strong.
He's a big boy. He was veiny, extra veiny at this time.
He was real veiny. It was crazy. She was wild.
And that's just why he's so good, because he has like the charisma and the high flying stuff, but then he also, like, everything he does looks legit. Like the power bomb, the suplexes, his forearms, like all of it. It was so good, and Edge was really good too.
Was like the star. Like that's everything like you need in a wrestler. Eddie had it.
Yeah.
On the mic, in ring, charisma oozing out of this man.
Yeah.
Man, miss Eddie Guerrero.
I fucking miss Eddie every time I watch these old matches, because it's like because like when people think of Eddie, they think of like the low rider and the comical stuff, maybe the stuff with China, but God, his wrestling was so good. It was so good.
The stuff with China, that hits my I can't even I don't even want to go back and ever watch that because I would just be sobbing the whole time.
The original Mamacita.
The original Mamacita. Heart.
Good stuff. Well, we're here. Might as well be the main event. We got Kiss My Ass. Excuse me, I'll speak it. Kiss My Ass versus HLA. Tag team match. We got the team of Billy and Chuck versus Jamal and Rosie. So let's talk about the backstory a little bit. There was there was essentially so Raw and SmackDown have been competing. Bischoff and Stephanie, they've been tit for tit, going back at one another. And they essentially had a gay off. Gay chicken, if you will. I don't know if you ever played gay chicken with your friends, if that's just a guy thing.
Well, I haven't.
Oh.
But, I
mean...
me
neither.
Listen, Kyle, it's 2022. Everyone's a little gay.
Just during June.
No.
That's what Gay Pride Month is, right? We all become gay just for a month.
No, everyone's a little gay in 2022.
Yeah, just
all year.
Just a dollop of it.
Not just June.
Well,
it's extra in June. It's $2 in June.
Oh, it's extra meat
at
Chipotle.
Year.
Yeah. Let me get 2 scoops of gay.
Terrible.
So, on Raw, Bischoff, there was really no context to it. Eric Bischoff comes out on Raw and he's like, tonight we're going to have some hot lesbian action. And my God, they built to this thing the entire show. And Jerry Lawler is busting a nut at the commentary table. Oh, shit! Like there's a match going on. He's like, oh, JR, there's going to be scissoring later. Or whatever he said.
Listen, you could have gave me anybody else on commentary, not Jerry pervy ass Lawler. Just talking about it the entire show. I got mad. I don't like King at all, but back then he was worse, especially with HLA being the main theme.
Right.
No, get this pervy ass man up out of here. I would have had Taz and Michael Cole talking about it the whole time.
Yeah.
At least they kind of they were actually doing their job and made jokes here and there. They weren't just oh my God, HL, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, Taz would have been oh, look at them tomatoes mashing together. What is this, ketchup or something?
See, but that's fine because it's one. Jerry does it the entire time.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive. It's pretty overbearing, maybe.
Fits.
But this HLA, it's kind of a preview for the later segment. No spoilers here, but Bischoff brought out 2 ladies. I don't think they were the same ladies that were on this show, but they were dubbed the Lesbians, and I don't even know if they had names, the ones on Raw, but they basically came out and hugged each other. It was crazy. Yeah, you two look at each other. I don't know why I'm Vince McMahon. You two look at each other and hug each other. Oh, yeah. It was like a, I don't know, 10-minute segment of just that. And then.
And this is why people were embarrassed to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Shit like this.
Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't 10 minutes. It was 3 minutes.
There you go.
And intergender wrestling is fine. If it's in the context of wrestling, I enjoy it. I belly laughed on Raw when Jamal and Rosie came out, and one of them super kicked the shit out of one of the lesbians, sent her into another shadow realm with this super kick. It was comical. It was like celebrity deathmatch when somebody would get kicked and they would get knocked into the rafters. That's what it looked like, and that's what HLA was. So,
yep, that's HLA.
Yes. And then to sum up, that's HLA. Any other thoughts on the Raw? I don't know if you took a chance to watch it or not, or if you had if you've seen it before.
So when they were like doing like the build throughout the whole show, talking about HLA, like some weird memory like appeared in my mind. I was like, why do I remember this? Because again, I'm in like first grade, but I have like this distinct recollection of HLA. I mean, what the fuck?
Just the letters are just in the background of your mind throughout your entire life.
I mean, I'm bisexual, so maybe that
HBA.
Maybe it did play a part. It definitely played a part, probably at some.
So you're saying Eric Bischoff is the reason? Is what you're telling me?
Oh fuck no, Eric Bischoff gets
You
no
planted
credit.
that seed.
No, give it to the lesbians. They get the credit,
Yes.
not Eric Bischoff.
The lesbians.
Bitch off.
Did you call him bitch off?
I did.
That's funny.
Thank
So
you.
SmackDown, Stephanie has to go get a one up on him. It wasn't really her intention, but it's just how the gays crumbled. So Billy and Chuck had a wedding. So I guess the week before, I think Chuck proposed to Billy. He's like, "Will you be my partner for life?" And Billy was like, "Hell yeah!" So they have a wedding, and this whole ceremony. It's a whole thing.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I cried. Stephanie's there as a witness. Rico's there, of course. But the thing is, I guess Billy and Chuck aren't gay. This was all supposed to be a publicity stunt, which, I mean, they've been a tag team for like a year now, so it's a long publicity stunt. But they didn't really want to go forward with the wedding. They just wanted to have a thing and get, I don't know. But Rico's like pushing it, trying to make him go through with it. Billy, Chuck, they didn't want to, and then the pastor, what would you call that? The old bag?
Just the bag of a human. Yeah. A pastor.
Let's call him a
Right?
pastor. He's
Priest?
he's old.
I don't know.
Priest. Let's call him a priest.
Call him a
Damian Priest. He's
That's what I was gonna fucking say. Damn it.
he's the Damien. So he's talking very slowly because he's old, but then he says something like, love can last 15 years, 6 months, or 3 minutes. And the old guy's like, wait, did I just say 3 minutes? And it's Eric Bischoff. He rips his condom face off, and oh my god. So Raw invades SmackDown, and Jamal and Rosie storm the ring and beat up on Billy and Chuck. And Jamal gives Stephanie a Samoan drop, which is something.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's the build-up to this match. Gay chicken. So
Gay chicken.
and it's SmackDown versus Raw, so whoever wins, they get brand supremacy, I guess. And I think I mentioned this briefly earlier, but if Billy and Chuck win for SmackDown, Eric Bischoff must kiss Stephanie McMahon's ass, which,
Taking after her dad. Makes sense.
like, look, Stephanie McMahon, 2002. Like, come on.
She was different. She hit different back then.
But
I mean,
different.
Cena tapped that ass, so
She...
I
yeah.
mean, Steph in the 2000s,
She was mommy, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, so... which, by the way, quick sidebar. I don't think you ever answered my question that I sent in for Smacking It Raw.
Oh, wait, which question?
Well, you did answer it, but I don't think you really thought about it. It was if it was a person with the lower body of Rhea Ripley, the upper body of Wardlow, and the face of Joe Gacy, and I asked you, would you? And you just said no, like when I questioned, but like
I said it's the face.
right.
See, Dwayne agrees.
Can you shut the fuck up? I'm wearing pants.
I know you're wearing pants.
There you go. Start meowing
Oh, he's just gonna start meowing at you.
Yeah, it is, whatever.
Unless I can like put a mask on Joe's face.
So you
or
gotta
a
hear him.
bag,
You gotta hear him
perhaps?
breathing though.
I'll do like a scream thing. I'll just get like a voice box and have him breathe into that. It'll sound
Okay,
like
so
somebody
you want some
different.
Kane action? Is what you're telling me. No kink shaming here, but I will kink shame this match. So,
There we go.
so high stakes, and if Jamal and Rosie win, Stephanie has to perform HLA later in the show, as you do. So, 3-minute warnings coming out, and one of the commentators is like they're running down basically 3-minute warning their hit list, like people they've attacked over the past few weeks, and it's the most hilarious hit list because you got D'Lo Brown, Sean Stasiak, the Lesbians, Lillian Garcia, Mae Young. Like, what the hell? Why are these the people that they're attacking? But
Like,
2002 was wild. It was lawless.
Yeah. Wild West.
Yes. And they're in California. So Chuck gets whipped for most of this match. Not literally. That would have been hot, though. But Rosie, so this is Jamal and Rosie, their first official match. Rosie goes for a second rope moonsault, which is pretty impressive. Misses and allows Chuck to get the hot tag on Billy. Billy goes for the noggin knocker. Takes both the Jamal and Rosie their heads and tries to knock them together, but age-old rule in wrestling, you don't headbutt a Samoan, nor do you make a Samoan headbutt another Samoan because nothing's going to happen.
That's a sin.
That's a sin. That's a sin. And lots of super kicks. Chuck hits a super kick on Rosie. Jamal with a super kick on Billy. It's a super kick party. You got Jamal throws up Billy for a pop-up Samoan drop, but Billy counters into a famouser, which is pretty slick. But Rico interferes, distracting Billy, and this allows Jamal to get back up, pop-up Samoan drop, looked brutal, and gets Raw the win. So a little HLA later in the show. Thoughts?
Match was good. I always forget that Billy Gunn's actually a good wrestler.
Yeah, you tend to forget that.
I just recently watched the DX biography thing on
Right.
A&E. Because you always just think of him as the New Age Outlaws, but you don't really think of them in ring. You think of all the stuff they did outside of the ring.
Right.
And even now, Mans is crazy big.
Yeah.
He towers over 90% of AEW's division.
He looks pretty much the same now, just a little bit more wrinkly.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
He's an ass man.
He's an ass man. What can I tell you?
What can we say? There's nothing else to say.
Yeah,
he's a fine one.
he is.
Ages nicely.
Delicious and red. So,
A little bit.
yeah. Billy Gunn. It's like his popularity peaked in an era where wrestling wasn't really a focus. So Attitude Era specifically, but even this era, wrestling's becoming more of a focus in this era. But he's a part of a gay tag team. Well, not gay, but a boy band tag team. So it didn't really get a lot of chances to shine. The tag division, it never has been a big deal in WWE, including this period. So
Didn't he get released not too long after this?
I know he had a run in 2003.
He had a singles run, and then I think it was
Yeah.
he blew out his knee, I think, during that singles run, and then got released on his birthday.
All I remember his feud with Jamie Noble on SmackDown when one of the matches they had, the stipulation was the winner gets a night with Tori Wilson, and Jamie Noble had a briefcase full of sex toys and stuff. Vague memory. Huh?
I said, don't we all?
Yeah. Just in case.
Just you never know.
Look,
Can't be too prepared now.
you don't want to be caught with your pants up. So
Exactly. Not up.
it's the phrase. So yeah, Jamal and Rosie win, and now we're on to the middle of the show where the world heavyweight title is on the line. Kind of a weird placement here, but you know they're figuring things out.
Very weird.
I mean, we'll talk about how the show actually finishes. I feel like this match should have closed the show, but that's just me.
I agree.
But yeah, world heavyweight title. We got the new champion Triple H versus Rob Van Dam. Triple H was just awarded the title on Raw a couple weeks before this because Brock Lesnar, the WWE champion, because when they were kind of just flipping back and forth, Brock Lesnar became exclusive to SmackDown, so Raw needed a title. So Eric Bischoff brought back Big Gold, gave it to Triple H, and here we are. And Rob Van Dam won a 4-way to become #1 contender on Raw. So not a lot of build up to this match. It kind of just felt like a rushed thing. Maybe that's why it's in the middle of the show. But
Maybe.
the match itself, I honestly thought it was pretty good. I think these two had really good chemistry with each other. I think Rob Van Dam and his bumping made Triple H look like a world beater. And I think Triple H even like bumped really hard for Rob Van Dam and all his kicks and stuff. I feel like the timing was really good and it just flowed really well. Yeah, what'd you think about this match?
RVD just was so good. Like, that's another person who, like, he did have, like, banger matches. And with Triple H, who came, now, correct me if I'm wrong, came back earlier this year.
Yep, January.
Yeah, like, that was, like, the return, which is one of the coolest moments ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, you think, 7 months between return and this? Hasn't lost a step.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like, and because he did, was it just one quad or was it both?
It was one quad, and then I think he tore his other quad a couple years later. Maybe it was the same quad, I forget. But
yeah, I thought it was both at one point. Like, he did, like, he knocks himself. Like, he did one and then...
Right. Yeah.
People laugh every time I say that. I'm like, but it's true.
Chris Statlander, all the people.
Damn shame. But yeah, Triple H, like, doesn't look like he missed a step at all in this. And you have RVD, who is one of a kind. I was just like, I haven't, again, like, it's another person I haven't, like, watched a match back, like, from when he was, like, super popular. So I was just like, oh my god, I remember that move. Like, right. I remember things like he used to do all the time. I was like waiting for Rolling Thunder because that was the one move I used to always love seeing him do for some reason. I don't know. But hell of a match. Definitely shouldn't have been in the middle of the card. But from like Eddie and Edge was good. And then you have the fucking tag match, which was stupid. And then from here on out, banger card. Yeah, I would agree. Including the you don't think the HLA segment was a banger? No, that doesn't count. I said match-wise, Kyle.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, agreed. Yeah, Triple H is kind of going through a character shift at this point. Like you said, he returned in January to a huge ovation. He had a major babyface run. Won the title at WrestleMania, then had this weird period where he was like feuding with Hulk Hogan and Undertaker in the middle of the year. Kind of cold stuff. Like, it was kind of a transitionary period. It was like right before the Ruthless Aggression era started, so it was kind of a weird period. But now he's shaven. He's still in the middle of his feud with Shawn Michaels, but Shawn is currently paralyzed from a sledgehammer shot at SummerSlam, so that's on hold for right now. But Triple H is a dirty heel. And not quite at Evolution yet, but we get major building blocks towards that in this show, or on this match. So, matches, Rob goes for a somersault to the outside and just takes a flat back bump on the floor, which looked gnarly. Yeah. This Rob Van Dam, he's like Gumby. Like, he just throws himself all over the place.
That's a good way to put it.
Does that date myself? But... the ref takes a bump, of course, because it's a Triple H match. Like for Earl Hebner, I think it was, he was like behind Triple H, and Rob Van Dam like goes for a shoulder block, or maybe it was the other way around, and knocks the ref out of the ring, basically. Rob then hits the 5-star frog splash, but there's no ref, so he doesn't win. Triple H eventually makes his way to the outside and finds his trusty sledgehammer, goes to hit Rob with it, but gets a kick to the face, and then Flair comes out. Ric Flair comes out. They're, like, both Rob and Triple H are down in the ring. Flair grabs the sledgehammer because earlier in the show he was being berated by Triple H in the locker room. Triple H walked up to Rob and he was like, "Look, you don't want to be like this old piece of shit over here." Who Ric Flair had just lost his match, and he was like, Rick got in his face, and it was a whole thing. Rob kind of protected Flair in that moment. So you're thinking, wow, Flair's out here. He's surely gonna hit Triple H with this whole sledgehammer. Well, nope.
Surely.
Swerve, bro, hits Rob Van Dam in the ovaries with the sledgehammer, and Triple H then hits the pedigree onto Rob, and ref comes to, makes the pin. Triple H retains and has seemingly aligned with old Richard Flair here. So the beginning of a beautiful, beautiful relationship, I guess would be the term.
Yeah, partnership.
Bromance, some may say.
Some would say.
Yeah.
Now, I'm pretty sure Evolution's like a year after this or something. A year or two?
Yeah, I mean, Evolution's a mystery. Is hanging, no, I don't know the words. You're looking at the words.
Yeah, keep singing.
You just talk like it is, and then
Yeah, but that's
fine.
basically all you need.
But yes, it's like January, I think, where Randy Orton and Batista get brought into it, and it becomes a thing. So
listen, I was like, all these things seem like too close together. So I was like looking stuff up after. I was like, when did Evolution start? When did Triple H return from injury? Like, because I was like, this all seems like it all happened at the same time. So
yeah.
I had to check.
No, yeah, there was, because Randy Orton, I don't know, I think Randy Orton might be injured at this point. No, he just faced, or he's about to be injured if he's not injured at this point. I know he injures like his shoulder or something. That's a weird thing to see.
Yeah.
You're about to be injured, fella.
Yeah, all right, Apollo Crews division, get out of here.
And Batista, I think he just turned on Devon at this point, so he's still kind of just being
there.
Batista was ridiculous looking back in the day. I don't know if you've seen 2002 Batista, but his traps are literally like
massive
continents on his shoulders.
Man's carrying continents, y'all.
He's ridiculous looking, but yeah,
he's massive.
That's a thing. So let me ask you a question: are you a Young and the Restless fan?
I'm more of a, well, I think, I can't remember if it was this or Days of Our Lives that I would like come home from school when I was younger and like watch with my mom. I think it might have been both.
That's the one that Joey Tribbiani was on, right? You watch Friends, right?
Listen, I watch Friends, but like I don't watch Friends.
See, Joey Tribbiani, he's a character played by Matt LeBlanc.
I know who he is.
Okay. How you doing, right?
How you doing? Yeah, nice. But no, I knew who was showing up as soon as I saw him. I was like, is that him?
Oh, so you knew this guy?
Yeah, because like I've seen like what he looks like more current times, and I was just like, holy shit, he's been on the show forever.
He's a salty daddy.
The show has been on forever, so it makes sense.
Yeah, well, hold on. Is the show called Old and the Restless now?
No, it's still called Young and the Restless.
Oh man, it's a shame.
They're just the old and tired. The old and restful.
The old and rests. But D'Lo Brown and Billy Kidman are backstage with this actor, and they're acting him. Hey, fella, what's his name?
Well, it's Victor from Young and the Restless. I don't know what his like actual name is, but he's Victor in the show. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Well, they're asking Victor if he fucks any of the actresses on the show. So, and then he says, he mumbles something.
Yeah, he really just mumbles. If you don't have a script in front of him, he's mumbling.
Well, the thing is, he was looking off camera like he was on fucking SNL, like they were holding up his lines.
Because that's probably what they had to do on Young and the Restless. He's like, they're just like big signs, big letters.
And he says I think he said he's married, so he doesn't talk about it. And then Dawn Marie comes in and sucks his cock, and then they walk off. So,
on screen, can you believe?
It was crazy. 2002, man. TV 14. It's amazing what they can get away with.
I mean, HLA. Am I right, guys?
Well, no HLA in this next match.
Darn.
Unfortunately, we got the women's title match is up next. So we got Molly Holly, the champion, versus Trish Stratus, and not a lot of build to this match, if any. It was kind of a here to be a women's match, but I mean, it was for this time period. I mean, I think people forget that like there were some good women's workers. I mean, they don't compare to today, but like, I thought this match is pretty solid for the time period.
Oh, 100%. Trish was like just like hitting her stride, if you like really think about it. And like Molly Holly, who is now like helping produce banger women's matches in WWE, of course they're gonna have a good match. I always forget that like Molly Holly was like women's champion, I think multiple times, because when you think about the divas, the women of this time, you really only think Ivory, Jazz, Jacqueline, Trish, Lita.
Right.
Those are like the 5 you typically think of. But then like Tori Wilson's around and Molly Holly. Like
Tori Wilson and Nydia get damn near the most screen time of all the women that you just named. It's more
because
Nydia and
they're
Tori Wilson.
there.
Yeah.
Because bodies.
Right. Bodies. So really, I do like how I think the story here is that, and commentary is driving this home, that Trish is here to be a serious wrestler. Like, she came in as a model, but she's worked hard, and now she's really honed her skills and is really a serious competitor here. And that kind of materializes, and Trish hitting a wheelbarrow bulldog, which is pretty impressive looking, and gets the win in this match and wins the women's title. And Coach comes up to her after for a post-match interview, and Trish is like, yeah, I love this. She's basically driving home that point that she's here to wrestle and is here to hold titles and all that, which is funny because when she was coming out, Jerry Lawler was like, hey, you know you don't have to be dead to donate organs. Which is funny. I laughed at that one. That was kind of funny.
See, it's the way that I cannot stand.
He's talking about his
Jerry
penis.
Lawler. I know that.
Yeah.
I hate that man. Still do. To this day.
Right.
Passion.
Oh, man. But, Molly Holly, they're all said that she's a virgin. That's like her character, which is interesting way to go about wrestling. But I guess that gets heat back in 2002.
Well, yeah, because if you're a virgin, you're not partaking in said HLA. So.
Right. Well, what a good segue. Wait, that's not shit. That's not yet. We got the goddamn Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit to talk about. This bullshit. I'm trying to get to my scissorine and my double-ended dildos and all. I'm not a lesbian, so I don't know what they do.
Wow, it really took you a long time to think about that.
Matt Ritter would be disappointed in me.
He's going to be so disappointed in you.
He's gonna send me a list of other items that are used in lesbians.
Strap-ons, right there.
Right, yeah. Lamps.
Right there.
So we got.
Did you say lamps?
So we got Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit, and I saw a lamp on my table and thought it could probably be used. So we got Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. Again, more Smackdown 6 action, so it's gonna be a good wrestling match. And it's funny how, like, because it's a great match, and it's like a very serious wrestling match, really intense wrestling match. But the whole build of it is Rikishi stink-faced this guy, and then the other guy hit the other guy get stink-faced with the guy's ass, and we're laughing.
That's crazy, because that's what I was gonna say. Like, the build to this match was fucking atrocious. But the match we got was incredible. Again, like, I don't really watch Chris Benoit matches, more so for everything that happened, but that doesn't defeat the purpose that Chris Benoit was a good wrestler.
Yeah.
No matter what people say now. Like, obviously, as a human being, no.
Subpar.
Below subpar.
Mm.
As a wrestler, as a technician in the ring, one of the best. Especially against Kurt Angle.
Woo-woo. Spicy hot fire.
This match, like, I think it was TC who said, like, this was, like, one of his, like, top 3 matches in, like, 2002 or something. But I can see why. It was such a good match. Like, that fucking build sucked. But it did help deliver said banger of match.
Yeah. And there was a whole thing where, like, Kurt and Benoit were teaming up, and they were trying to coexist, but they can't coexist. I think eventually they become, like, a true team. They might even win the titles. I forget if they do or not.
It's Google. We'll look it up.
This is the, like we recently saw with Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. It's like, okay, let's beat the shit out of each other, and now we can team together. It was like that kind of thing. But yeah, really intense chain wrestling in the beginning. It's like, you can tell, and I've listened to a few of Kurt Angle's podcasts, and he talks sometimes, like, when he had matches with Benoit, they would literally just go in there and, like, shoot wrestle for a little bit and, like, try to get the better of one another. German suplexes. I didn't count how many German suplexes were in this match, but it was goddamn a couple dozen. There was one spot where Kurt, like, he hits a German, keeps the hands locked, hits a second one, and before he hit the third one, Benoit reverses, and then he hits 2, and then Kurt hits, they keep going back and forth for like 2 or 3 minutes straight, which is impressive as hell. Angle slam gets blocked. Benoit hits a German on Angle and sends him, he does like a full-on backflip and almost breaks his neck.
That's for the 100th time?
It's just calloused at this point. Any specific other spots stick out to you in this one?
Well, I did find out they were tag team champions, so you were right.
Ding ding.
Ding ding ding. And nothing that really, like, sticks out. I mean, they're, like, 2 of the best in the ring at the time. You're gonna see counters and, like, a lot of counters. That was, like, the big thing. It was like, Kurt Angle would do something. Nah. Then all do something. Nah. And it was just it was a good fucking match. Like, a good back and forth, like, good build throughout the match. That's how you do it.
Hell yeah. No, yeah. The counters were amazing. Like, because Angle would have, like, an ankle lock, and then Benoit would, like, flip it into a crossface, and then Kurt would, like, grab Benoit's ankle while in the crossface, and then lock an ankle lock, and it's just, like, back and forth shit like that.
It's crazy how good you have to be in, like, your in-ring awareness to be like, oh, I'm in this, but I can grab person's body to get out of this. Insane.
And it was not very common you saw this type of match, at least in WWE at this point.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think Angle has an ankle lock. Benoit rolls him up, and Benoit has his feet on the ropes, but makes the pin. Ref doesn't see it. Benoit gets the win, the cheeky win with the feet on the ropes. And so Benoit wins, and he laughs at Kurt Angle, because that is the story after all.
Yeah, because, haha.
That's good shit.
Nice.
Excuse me. By golly. Well, Brock Lesnar's here. So is Paul Heyman.
But it's not Cowboy Brock, so.
Yeah, so you don't give a shit. No ponytail.
I don't give a fuck. Also, he's not the advocate yet. He's the agent. He's Agent Paul Heyman.
It's a good call. He's not a wise man after all.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's got like 20 years.
Well, it takes time to become wise, you see. But Brock. So Paul Heyman, of course, speaks for Brock Lesnar. It's like a backstage interview with Coach or whoever this shit. Paul talks. He's talking up the main event. He's talking up Brock Lesnar. And then Brock Lesnar gets time to talk on the mic with a great line. He says, I I'm not sorry for what I did to Undertaker's wife. I'm not sorry for what I'm gonna do to The Undertaker later tonight. When you have no remorse, you have no problem being unforgiven.
Oh, he said it.
It's the title of the show.
Crazy, can you believe?
Yeah, it's crazy how I stumbled into that.
How he just like he stumbled away into that line right there. He's like, oh god, I gotta catch myself. I gotta catch myself on this cushion here.
And there was a cushion. That was
And
Paul
there
Heyman.
is a reason Brock Lesnar did zero fucking talking back in the day.
He wasn't that bad, but it was like, okay, Brock, that's enough.
But there's a reason you have a fantastic mouthpiece like Paul Heyman as your agent.
Right. Just do push-ups, jump up and down.
Do the thing.
Wait, the what?
I'm not doing anything. See, you all think you're fucking slick trying to get me to do shit twice. I don't. You know what I'm talking about? Just like the big, his fucking neck is huge. I don't know. He does that thing. I don't know. I'm not Brock Lesnar.
I was gonna let you spiral for a little bit.
Please don't.
All right. Well, now we're at our main event.
Oh, our main event, not the main event.
No, I mean it's the main event. There's like a little post thing after this, but I think
Yeah,
it
just a little.
it might have been a dark match that was on Peacock. I don't know. But this is the main event. This is how we close the show. HLA, hot lesbian action.
Terrible.
As per the aforementioned interpromotional match, Stephanie and her team lost, so now Stephanie has to be a lesbian. So Eric Bischoff comes out, accompanied by, and as Fink put it, coming down the ring, Eric Bischoff and the lesbians.
It's a good thing.
Thanks. And so, Katie, do you remember what their names are, these lesbians?
No.
Well, one was Peaches.
Oh, wasn't the other one Cream?
Yeah, it was Peaches and
Fucking
Cream.
Terrible.
Let's go.
Oh god damn it! I knew if you gave me the first one, I'd figure out the second. I forgot.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
God forbid.
Well, man, I'm gonna have creamless peaches. Get the fuck out of here.
Peaches Cream.
Peachless cream, man.
I hate
I want to make that the title of the episode.
Go for it.
Peachless cream. Well,
Peaches Cream.
we get before Stephanie comes out to partake in the lesbian action. We have a little preview. Eric Bischoff makes the two lesbians undress. They take their jackets off. They start rubbing each other's legs and weenuses and
Lots of weenus touching.
an obsessive amount of weenus. So Eric Bischoff announces Stephanie, tells her to get her caboose out here, and Stephanie's like, or I think Bischoff's like, which lesbian do you want, Stephanie? And Bischoff's like, hey, you know what? Let's just have a menage a trois. Stephanie apparently is going to have a threesome with the two other ladies. It's a wrestling pay-per-view, everybody. And
Not the porn Kyle was watching last night. No, this is a wrestling pay-per-view.
if you're just tuning in. So yeah, Stephanie, they I guess they rub each other a little bit. The two lesbians, they basically sandwich Stephanie and they rub her. Very PG rubbing. You know, it's just the legs and the back and
very PG.
maybe a buttock or two.
Like,
But,
what is this? I thought this was TV 14.
This is bullshit. This is not what I paid
This is
for.
bullshit.
People paid to see hot lesbian
This is
action.
not what we paid for.
But Eric Bischoff, all of a sudden, decides that he's changed his mind. He doesn't want either of these lesbians to canoodle with Stephanie. He wants,
Ooh, okay.
yeah, wants his hand-picked lesbian to come out. Do you remember what this lady's name was?
Oh, it's on like the tip of my tongue.
Starts with an
Is it-
H.
Is it Hilda?
Hildegard.
Damn it! I was so close. Hildegard. Oh,
So he
fuck.
calls out Hildegard. She comes out.
Big woman.
she's a big lady.
She's a big old lady.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there is. But so she comes out. Quick sidebar. I was watching this with the softest part of the ring was sitting next to me when I was watching this. I don't know why I let her be in the room with me. I was watching this.
Yeah, why? What are you doing?
But Hildegard comes out, and like 3 seconds after she comes out, she goes, "Is that Rikishi?" Before I knew it was Rikishi, she knew it was Rikishi, which is pretty funny.
Damn! Shout out to the softest part of the ring.
I mean,
Genius.
maybe if you would have given me 2 more seconds, I might have gotten it, but who knows? But yeah, it's a very distinctive face and ass of this lady. So she comes out wearing like she looks like a big librarian, and walking out comes into the ring, and Stephanie just makes out with Hildegard. She loves it. Bischoff's confused. It's like, why does she love it so much? Bischoff then just sees Hildegard's ass, and he's like, wait a minute, what the hell? And Hildegard uncorks a super kick, hits Bischoff in the face, and gives Hildegard rips her face off, which a little bit of blackface going on here. We don't talk about it.
Well, definitely a little bit.
I mean, is Rikishi Samoan? Is he like a half? You know, is there like a shook of that in there? You know,
I do not know. I don't know.
I mean, with that ass, there's got to be, right?
Fuck.
Look, I'm asking the questions.
Yeah, you're asking the questions.
Okay.
It was right there.
Yeah, it was right there. The ass was right there.
The ass was right there.
Gives Bischoff a stink face after he rips his black face off, and rips off his clothes. Some of them, hikes up his skirt, shoves in Bischoff's face. One of the most elongated stink faces I've ever seen in my life.
Great.
Rips his shirt down under his nipples. It's a weird sight.
There's a lot happening.
There's a lot happening. Stephanie has makeup all over her face, and yeah.
Yeah. See, this is also part of like me having a weird recollection of HLA. Was this? Was
Really?
like Rikishi as Hildegard. I didn't remember like the name or anything, but like the vision of Rikishi dressed up as a woman coming out. I was just like, whoa. I like got like weird case of deja vu watching this. I was like, why do I remember this? What the hell?
Yeah.
But like that super kick he gives to Bischoff, like,
Woo.
fuck, man. Bischoff, Shadow Realm. He's joining the lesbians.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And it, like Stephanie like hoisting the undergarments more into the crack of Rikishi.
Yes.
Perfect the elongated stink face.
Well, it's been building this whole show. You gotta get every inch of Rikishi's innards.
Every inch. What a time.
Rikishi, I mean, he said in interviews that he takes good care of his backside.
Oh yeah, like I don't remember what interview I was watching, but it was somebody who's like received a stink face before from Rikishi, and they were like, it wasn't bad. Like everything was like taken care of back there.
Yeah, I think it was Matt Hardy. I think Matt Hardy said it was like pleasant.
Well, Matt Hardy's also a sicko, so I don't know if we can really take his word for anything.
Well, it's actually a good segue into this next match. Weirdly enough, the WWE title is on the line in the post show, I guess. Brock Lesnar. What?
I don't know how this is a segue.
You'll see. So Brock
Okay.
Lesnar defending the title against The Undertaker. All right, so we got that hot lesbian action stuff out of the way. The ridiculousness is over. Now let's talk about Brock Lesnar trying to kill Undertaker's unborn child. So, the weird time. We're about to get into Katie Vick and all that stuff. It's a weird time in wrestling.
It's Terrible
Yeah.
time for me. Oh man, it's almost October. Oh no. Fuck.
So that's so the build to this match. I guess Undertaker won a number one contender's gauntlet of sorts, and basically Undertaker is implying that Brock Lesnar hasn't really been tested at this point, even though he just faced the Rock at the last pay-per-view. But I digress. Little Dwayne, Big Dwayne, and
Big Dwayne, not Little Dwayne.
Big
Little Dwayne, I'm surprised isn't meowing at your door right now.
No, he's a Big Dwayne. That's a Big Dwayne. You saw his belly. But the Undertaker is here, and so is Brock Lesnar. And then they have a match. But then they lock up. Power struggle. You know, Brock Lesnar is the big strong hands, but the Undertaker still gets the better of the test of strength, collar elbow tie up, and sends Brock Lesnar out of the ring. Like, Taker shoves Brock, and Brock does like a backflip and goes through the ropes. Like, he was bumping this shit like all over the ring in this match. I feel like Brock doesn't get enough credit for how well he bumps and all that stuff.
I would agree.
Undertaker hits his clothesline, which is like his classic clothesline where he hits the ropes and then jumps, but Brock Lesnar like also jumps, so it looked ridiculous.
Weird.
Like they went so high in the air, both of them.
Why are you guys 6 feet in the air? Like, get down.
Get down. Enough. Heyman gets on the apron at one point, distracts Taker. Brock hits a spear, a suplex, power slam, locks in a bear hug. So he's showing that he can hang with the dead man here. Really impressive offense from Brock Lesnar here. I think at one point Taker goes into the ring post or something. He starts bleeding at some point. I don't think I caught like how he started bleeding. Do you remember?
I don't think I... Honestly, at this point, I feel like I look down once and then I look back up and somebody's bleeding. Like, whether that be current wrestling or back in the day. I feel like somebody bleeds every time I look down. So, I don't know when this happened.
John Moxley's there. It's crazy.
Moxley's on the ground bleeding. Like, nobody knows why.
He blades when he's a spectator. Well, Taker's bleeding. And Taker starts fighting back. A ref, I think, takes a bump at some point, probably.
There are multiple ref bumps.
I just assume the ref is always unconscious. Once we get like past 5 minutes in the match.
Yeah, ref is non-existent.
Yeah, he's gone. Which allows Matt Hardy to storm the ring, which is a weird little cameo.
Oh, yeah.
So we're at the beginning of version 1. Matt Hardy, he has split with his brother. And Jeff is on Raw. Matt is on SmackDown. Matt's become a bit of a cocky one. He's become a bit of an egotist, and he's kind of a delusional too because he's been like demanding matches on SmackDown with Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, and he keeps getting these matches and he keeps getting destroyed because he's Matt Hardy and they're Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. So I guess Matt's here to kind of prove himself or something. I don't know. He kind of came and went. But
that's how irrelevant he was. I forgot he even showed up in this match.
Look.
That's why I was like, what are you talking about? What is this segue? I literally forgot that he showed up during this match. And I just watched this like a week ago.
He storms the ring, gets... I forget if it's a choke slam or a last ride. It's a last ride.
It's a last ride.
Yeah.
Which, what a move.
They go so high.
They do. Especially if you're like a tiny dude.
Ooh.
Oh my god. You're like 15 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's
at least.
And he slams you. It's a ride. And it's the last one. So Matt Hardy, I don't know what the point of him being in this match was. He was literally in there for 2 seconds. Brock Lesnar hits Taker with a spine buster to capitalize on this, I guess. But the ref is down. So Heyman throws a chair to Brock. Brock goes to hit Taker with the chair, but then gets a boot to the face. Taker grabs the chair and damn near decapitates Brock Lesnar with this chair. The chair goes through his head, or his head goes through the chair.
The chair goes through his head.
Kills Brock Lesnar. Rest in peace.
It's the craziest shit you've ever seen. Head gone.
Yeah, it's man, watching chair shots to the head. In 2022, it's a bit jarring, huh?
So I was just my jaw dropped. I was like, you can't do that. Oh my god.
He forgot to put his hands up. Oh
I
no.
was like, he didn't protect his face.
My man's wearing
Brock, no.
a chair necklace. Heyman, god damn, Heyman gets knocked into the crowd by the Undertaker. It seemed very unnecessary.
So.
Yeah, I guess. Poor people in the first row, but you know, it is what it is.
And so.
In the ring, Taker goes to hit the last ride on the Brock, but Brock counters, goes for the F5, but Taker counters, and then the two men have a scuffle, a kerfuffle of sorts in the corner.
A quarrel?
Ooh, that's good.
That's a big word for Elmo.
What? Yeah, so they have a quarrel in the corner. And they won't break it up. The ref is like, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get out of there. The guy's like, heck no, I'm gonna keep on beating this fella. So they don't break it up. So the ref calls the match. It's a no contest, I guess. Bell rings and the match is over. And the show ends with Undertaker and Brock fighting in the aisleway. And Taker throws Brock through the set on the stage, like the big Unforgiven sign, just chucks him through it. And yeah.
Eats him like Uncle Phil does jazz.
Yes. Hello! Or whatever noise he makes.
Nice.
But yeah, no forgiveness for Brock Lesnar. So
No forgiveness.
Unforgiven. Yeah. It was a great match. Obviously the finish left a little bit to be desired, but
yeah, like how, like I feel like it happens a lot more now, where like matches end in like a no contest or like a double count out or some shit. But how are you gonna have this build, like this build, where Brock legit almost kills Taker's unborn child, targets Taker's wife? It's basically a blood feud, and like this isn't like American Badass Taker, is it? Or is I'm confused.
Well,
because like he has a bandana.
Yeah, he's still a biker. He's more of a big evil Undertaker, which is a sub division of American Badass.
Subdivision.
There's leopard print pants Undertaker.
That's a weird time.
That's a weird time. There's redhead Undertaker. And now there's this Undertaker with short hair, and he's kind of like figured it out at this point. It took him a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't hear the rolling. Like I didn't see a motorcycle. I didn't see any of the fun things. I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know what Taker. I don't know.
There wasn't a motorcycle. Yeah.
No, he just walked.
What an asshole.
Like what the fuck? That's gonna be so mad.
Look, I guess
on Taker. Oh.
he meant business, so no time for motorcycles. You can
mean business and vroom down to the ring. You get down there faster.
That's actually a damn good
Equals
point.
Quicker business.
Fuck, I have a big leg on my face, don't I?
Taking care of business. That should have been what Taker came out to.
No shit, that is the name of his submission finisher. He has a dragon sleeper that he used a few times, and it was called the Taken Care of Business.
Are you shitting me?
There's no shit to be had.
I didn't know that. I thought I was being so clever. Damn it.
I mean, you were. You just didn't do it on purpose.
Accidentally clever.
By the way, you mentioned this earlier. I don't think I ever explained it about the killing Taker's unborn child. I don't think I followed up on that. I think I just left it there.
You really didn't. You really left that shit hanging.
The listeners have been not listening to me for the past 20 minutes because they're like, wait a minute, what's up? What about this?
They're like, what the fuck up, Kyle? Back up.
Let me get that one more can. Yeah, at one point, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker was having a match in the ring, probably with Matt Hardy. And backstage, Brock Lesnar cornered Sarah, who was Taker's wife at the time, who was pregnant, and cornered her, put his hand on her stomach and said, life's a bitch, I think is what he said. Just, intimidating her.
Which, first of all, don't touch her. Second of all, stop it. Third of all, she like goes into like false labor or some shit like after this.
Or that was right after Brock cornered her and sent her into the hospital. And at first I was like, wait, did he cause a miscarriage? But no, it was just a they were building it up as like the stress of it made her go into false labor, which is
I feel like a miscarriage that would happen in like TV14 shit, not this fake TV14 shit they have.
You gotta wait, I think it's like 2 years when Gene Snitsky kills Lita's baby.
That is one of the worst storylines I think I've ever seen in my entire life. How are you gonna punt a baby doll?
I mean,
who do you like? Do you think the person who caught that still has it?
I guarantee it. The baby that Gene Snitsky, the baby Kane, little arsonist. Is that little arsonist?
Oh my god! It came full circle. Holy shit!
Oh man, can't get better than that. Well.
Oh my god! I can't believe it worked out so well. Like
It's what a tale that we've woven here today.
Long-term storytelling.
Take notes, Triple H. Oh,
fuck.
Well, any other thoughts on Unforgiven? Any overall thoughts on the show?
I forgot to like talk about it in the beginning. The video package that opened this, incredible. Now, I was like thinking, I was like, this lady's voice sounds kind of familiar. And I don't think it's the same person, but all right. Do you remember Scariest Places on Earth? It was like a TV show on like ABC Family in like the 2000s. But it was like one of those ones they would show at night because it was like a darker like show.
I don't remember, no.
Look it up after this. The lady's voice doing the intro for it, that's who I thought of for the lady doing the video package for this.
What did she sound like again?
I can't replicate the voice. Like, even if I tried, I couldn't.
Brock Lesnar. Oh, Fate. I can't do it either, actually. Yeah.
I mean,
I
so, like, think about what she sounds like, and then when you hear this lady's voice or Scariest Places on Earth, tell me they're not similar.
All right. Yeah, I'll go research an obscure ABC Family early 2000s show. Maybe it's on YouTube. There's weirder shit on YouTube.
I literally, like, Googled it. I was like, scary ABC Family TV show, and, like, it popped up, and I was like, oh, fuck.
And then Dawson's Creed pops up.
Yeah, Dawson's Creed, actually, crazy, popped up. No, but it popped up on YouTube, and, like, I, like, listened to the intro, and I was like, oh, that's her voice. And I figured it out.
It's probably the same lady just going from show to show, doing various intros and
that I would do.
Voiceovers. It's
the
dream.
Voice actor.
It's the dream. You still can. I believe in you.
Thank you.
If Paul Heyman can do it for NXT, you can too.
Which, crazy.
It is. But you know what else is crazy? The ShELite Showcase, which you can hear every Thursday-ish. Sometimes Wednesday, sometimes any other day. But once again, thank you, Potato Wedge, for joining me on the program.
We're not sliding past that at all.
What's up?
One more time.
Potato Wedge.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll just have a different potato for you every time you come on here.
Every time well, listen, I'm happy I finally got to do something I like new.
Yes. No more
no WCW bullshit. TNA wasn't bad. I was okay with the TNA one because I knew the majority of people in TNA. But you really, for the first time us doing a show together, you really said, let me give her WCW the year before she was born with some whack-ass pay-per-view.
Little introduction to doing a podcast on my show. Here's Booker T and the Nasty Boys squirting mustard at each other. And Earthquake's here, but he's a shark.
Dustin Rose is fighting Goon number 11 in the back of a truck, moving on a highway.
A 30-minute match in Mississippi on a bale of hay truck, and yeah.
Those are minutes I can never get back, by the way.
At least it wasn't 3 minutes, right?
See what you did there. I'm very proud of you.
But there's no Jamal and Rosie on your show. But where can everybody listen to you and find you and watch you and super kick you in the chest?
Wow. Please don't super kick me in the chest. Please don't do that. But you can follow me on Twitter at KatieWrestling13. The link tree I'm about to take you all things ShELite Showcase. Twitch.tv/ShELite Showcase. Typically, Thursdays 6 p.m. Eastern, unless something happens. Like this past show was Wednesday. The next show I do is going to be Wednesday. But because things happen. I'm going to Chicago to meet friends, so I'm not trying to deal with this. I don't know when this will be up, so I could have already gone to Chicago at this point.
It'll be next Wednesday.
Oh, so the day before I go to Chicago. Perfect.
Oh, wow. You can listen to this on your way there.
Well, my flight's... Oh, actually, yeah, my flight's about an hour and some change.
There you
so
go. No excuse.
I really think we could.
I better see a blip from Pittsburgh or wherever you're flying out of.
I would be flying out of Pittsburgh. That's where I live. Yes.
There you go. Well, I don't know if you travel. Like some people travel to other places because there's no layovers. And...
No, that's too much work. I have a direct flight.
That's me.
Anyways, youtube.com/ShELite Showcase. I always say watch the videos because they're way more entertaining because I talk a lot with my hands, a lot of facial features. You know, go do it. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. If you don't want to watch, I get it. It's fine. So like ShELite is the brand itself, and then that's also the weekly show that Savannah and I do. Inside the Mind of is an interview series I do. The newest one that'll be out on Monday was going to be with Haley Ann. She's one half of Tag Talk on Fightful, one half of Romanticized Wrestling. Super sweet girl. I'm so happy I got to do an interview with another woman because they're few and far in between.
She'll still find a way to bring up Matt Ritter.
You know what? I did, and I'm so mad. I didn't with her tag partner, I guess, Kylie, because I interviewed her as the next one. So that'll be another 2 weeks. But I didn't mention Matt at all. So I was very proud of myself.
There's probably an Easter egg in there somewhere.
There probably is, and I didn't even think about it. Whatever.
Just subconsciously.
But I did one with Kyle. That was a fun time. I think... Did I have COVID during yours, or was that Kenny's?
I think... Maybe I didn't have COVID, but I think I might have thought I had COVID.
I think I had COVID.
I think we were both sick. I was, yeah, you know what? There it is. Yeah. There it is. I had AIDS.
We got there. Fucking Christ. But that's up on the channel if you want to check that out. And then my co-host Savannah has a show where she talks all about New Japan. I don't know jack shit about it, but I just upload it.
Yeah, they have the older Tamagotchis and Yamaguchis and...
Titty Suernados. You know.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me on, guys.
Once again, thank you to Potato Salad for joining me on this show. Go check out Katie. All of her info in the description below. Go check out the ShELite Showcase and all of her other shows. YouTube, Twitch, Tout. I don't know. She does it all. Go check that out. Check me out, apronbump.com, for all my full episodes. Of course, on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're listening to this, why don't you go head over to the YouTube ski, give this video a like, maybe leave a comment. What's your favorite lesbian porn star? Let's keep it on brand now, folks. Yeah, do that. And yeah, that's about all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for listening. Love you all. Sorry, I just fucking yelled for no reason. Big smooches all around. Smooches for the gang. The apron bumpers. All of you. Okay. That's not what you guys are. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Big smooches. I'm hard.
Yeah.
It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing I guess. Let's get it started. It's the hardest.